What is up, everyone? I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees. In today's video, we got double barrel action. The Yankees played 2 games today. They took 2 losses. Not really ideal, but the Yankees were able to get some pretty, important showings, some important prospects, and some guys that you expect to make the Major League team. Let's get started with the Pirates game because the Yankees didn't really have a lot going on in that game. They got shut out, only had 5 hits. No notable guys really pitched for the Yankees as well. No guys who, anticipate to make the Major League roster or are top prospects. So with that being said, let's start off on the pitching side of the ball. Ryan Weber came in, tossed 2 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 2 home runs. Wasn't a great day for Weber at the ballpark. Brian Reynolds and Cabrian Hayes both hit home runs off him. I think they were back-to-back as well. So not a great day for him. Ian Hamilton, who was pitched really well at spring training, had 1 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs given up, no walks, 1 strikeout. He looks pretty good today. He's someone who's looked good in the spring. I imagine he sticks around with the Yankees at the minor league level. He's a guy who isn't too old, so you're not looking at him as someone who's like 31, 32, who could potentially sign elsewhere. He's 27 years old. I think the Yankees like the cutter he has, and quite frankly, I view him as someone that the Yankees are going to potentially look at, during the season if they need an inning or two. His velocity is up on his fastball, which is, really good to see. Again, the cutter is gross, and quite frankly, it's worked really well for him so far. So a lot of really positive signs for him this year. Nick Ramirez came in. He tossed an inning of scoreless baseball, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. He got blown up in his outing against the Rays, but outside of that, he's looked really good in spring training. Another guy who I think the Yankees kind of keep around his depth at the AAA level. Lissandro Santos, who was acquired in the Lucas Luetge deal, tossed 3 innings today, 1 hit, no earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Not the prettiest stat line in terms of walks to strikeouts, but he didn't give up any runs. His stuff looked pretty good, so quite frankly, I think I'm pretty impressed with what he's done so far in spring training. I just would like to see the command just get a little more refined, which it's something that should kind of come to him as the spring kind of travels on. And then the final pitch, and then on the offensive side of the ball, we got to see not a lot of offense. Isaiah kind of Fluffo went 1 for 3 at the plate. Andre Chaparro went 1 for 3. Billy McKinney 2 for 3. Rodolfo Duran went 1 for 2. Not a lot of offense. There were just 5 hits in general. A lot of offers for the Yankees today. Not their best offensive showing. Hats off to the Pirates pitchers. They did an excellent job against the Yankees today. But that really kind of sums up that game. There was a really good defensive play by Oswald Peraza. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, it hit off I think it hit off the pitcher's foot or maybe off the mound. I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, man, he just leaps in the air, grabs it, flips it to second, gets the out. I mean, he looks remarkable at the position. Again, he's probably the guy who ends up starting at shortstop, even though Volpe has performed really well this spring. But I think that's the perfect segue to talk about this Phillies-Yankees game because we got to see Anthony Volpe and Jason Dominguez in this game. Both of them were the starters. Jason Dominguez started in center field, Anthony Volpe at shortstop. Volpe was on base twice today with a hit by pitch and a walk. Didn't record a hit, went 0 for 1 in the at-bat category, but had 3 plate appearances. Overall, pretty good day for him at the plate considering you get on base twice. I think that's a good day at the plate. Maybe other people disagree. And we saw DJ LeMahieu go 1 for 2 with a walk. We saw Aaron Judge work a walk, though he didn't have any hits. Giancarlo Stanton had 2 booming hits. He was crushing the ball today. 116.1 miles an hour on a single, and then a 102.9 mile per hour double. He looked really, really, really good today. Very encouraging signs from him. Willie Calhoun, he just missed a home run, and he also had a walk today. Giancarlo Stanton, as I mentioned, hit the ball really hard, but so did Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez crushed a 107 mile an hour home run, 107.6, excuse me. His 4th home run of the spring. He's now hitting a remarkable 421 with an OPS of over 1,500. He just looks incredible so far this spring. I'm really encouraged by what we're seeing by Dominguez. Does that mean that I think Dominguez is going to be at the Major League level? No. But does that mean that I view Jason Dominguez as someone who, you should keep an eye out potentially to make his debut this year if things go really well? Perhaps. We're entering the territory where things are just looking really damn good for Jason Dominguez, and he's really been impressive. He's one of the Yankees' best hitters, if not their best hitter this spring, and he's done it. He hit that home run off of a really good pitcher in Connor Brogdon. That's a really good relief pitcher, and he took him yard, and he crushed that ball. So really encouraging signs so far from Jason Dominguez. Again, him and Volpe have just kind of taken over camp, so really love what you get to see there from those two guys. But that really wraps up all the offensive components of today's game. A lot of guys with offers at the bottom of the lineup. On the pitching side of the ball, we got to see Domingo Germán take the ball. He's the Yankees' presumed 4 starter. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs, both of them earned, 3 strikeouts, no home runs, no walks. He struggled in terms of runs and hits and kind of locating the changeup, or not the changeup, excuse me, the curveball. But he didn't really get hit hard, so you're not too concerned. I think the stuff looks good. His stuff plus on the in spring training so far is up 10 points from where it was last year. Now you're going to have to regress that a little bit because pitches per appearance are going to naturally create wear and tear throughout an outing. So your stuff is most likely going to get worse as you pitch deeper into a game. But man, does he look good? The curveball velocity, it's stuck, and it's been his go-to weapon. I think the four-seam fastball has a lot of life. It looks a lot better. Quite frankly, I'm impressed by what he's done so far this spring, and I think he can be a decent starter for the Yankees as he holds the fort down, and him and Schmidt kind of battle it out during the season to kind of see who sticks around when Rodon comes back. The next guy we got to see after Herman was Michael Gomez, who is someone who's pitched at the higher levels of the minors in AA and AAA last year. Tossed 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs, no earned runs. Solid outing. He's a sidewinder, has a sinker, cutter, curveball. Pretty solid arm, nothing spectacular in the negative or positive department for Gomez today. Then we got to see Wandy Peralta, who, had a pretty bad outing. His last time out, he gave up a 3-run home run, but he bounced back, scoreless inning, just one strikeout, 1 walk, no runs given up, no home runs, nothing of the sort. Again, you know that Wandy Peralta is someone that you're going to look at this season as one of your best relievers, as one of your guys that you rely upon. Your primary left-handed reliever in a bullpen that doesn't really have a lot of left-handed options. His velocity's been up this spring. His spin rates are up this spring. These are some pretty important signs. His spin rates are up over 100 RPMs on all of his pitches today, and his velocity was up about a tick on all of his pitches today as well. So really encouraging signs from Wandy today. As for Clay Holmes, he tossed an inning. He didn't have any walks or strikeouts, but he did give up a run on 2 hits. His velocity looks good. His movement looks good. Nothing's bad in that department. He just didn't have his best outing in terms of runs and all that stuff. But quite frankly, it is spring training. You're not too concerned about that. You just really care about making sure the velocity and the movement looks good, and it did. So really encouraging signs from Clay Holmes today. We got to see some Michael King today, and while his velo is still a little bit down from where he was in 2022, the results are there. He tossed a scoreless inning, 1 run, 1 strikeout, no hits. His stuff is still gross. He's still got a high spinning sweeper, the high spinning fastball, a nasty changeup where he just looked really good today, and he continues to look really good in spring. So, no concerns there. Matt Crook didn't throw 3 innings like MLB.com will say. Matt Keating actually came in, and he tossed he faced 1 batter, and he got the final out of the 8th inning. So there's a little bit of a confusion there. There was a scoreboard issue that was so the game was updated kind of after the game was over. But Matt Crook still looked really, really, really impressive. The fastball and the curveballs he threw, those weren't his. Just to clarify again, but he was throwing a wicked slider. His slider had a 75% whiff percentage, 38% called strike plus whiff percentage. His cutter looks really good. He's got a pretty nasty cutter, man. I view it as a pitch that he can really rely upon to get some big outs. It's a pitch that he uses to kind of bridge the gap between his slider and his sinker. And quite frankly, I just think he looked really, really good today. Yes, he gave up 2 runs, but he got plenty of strikeouts. He got 4 strikeouts on the day, 3 strikeouts, excuse me, because the 4th one was for Keating. Only gave up 2 runs, and this end of the day didn't look too bad. I think he looked pretty good today, and he's had a really good spring training. So overall, I think he's someone the Yankees are going to potentially use on their major league roster because they need the pitching depth. With Rodon out, with Montas out, the Yankees really do need guys at the major league level who can give them innings if Schmidt or Herman are to go down, or if they're to get knocked out of a game early. I think Matt Crook has experience as a starting pitcher. They pushed him in his pitch count today. He tossed about 50 pitches. So overall, I'm really encouraged by what the Yankees got from Matt Crook today. I'm really encouraged by the pitching side of the ball. I'm really encouraged by Jason Dominguez today. There are plenty of things to be happy about, even though the Yankees lost both these games. Again, it's spring training. It doesn't really matter if you win or lose. What matters is you're getting production from guys that are, guys you're going to rely upon this season, and the Yankees have continued to get that. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have been great with the support lately. We appreciate your guys' continued support. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications. You guys will know when we post. We've got highlights, we've got daily podcasts, we've got post-game recaps just like this one coming at you guys with all your Yankee content. We are your one-stop shop for New York Yankees content. Make sure to check out our Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course our YouTube page here. And of course, check out Empire Sports Media for all your New York sports content. We've got articles coming out daily on there. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.